What's going on? It is the next episode of the Red Line Briefing. I am Chris Waters, joined by my friend and co-host Brian Butler. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? How was your fourth?
It was incredible. We had a lot of fun down here in Florida. It rained half the weekend, but it was really good all in all. How about you?
Awesome. Same, man. We had kind of a freak storm come by about, 45 minutes before fireworks time. But, it's like the saying goes, once they're in the tube, there's only one way out. So obviously we shot them off and it was an awesome show, like always.
Facts. That's awesome, man. No, that's great. I'm glad you all had a good time up there as well.
Absolutely.
Especially being, the 250th, which we will talk about here in a little bit.
Absolutely.
A lot of stuff to go over this week, actually. Speaking of, let's talk about it. We have on our list to talk about this episode a big one that we're seeing more and more out on social media, and that is going over flock cameras. That's going to be a big one and a sensitive subject for some, which we'll definitely dive into.
We're going to tell you what to do, what not to do, and most of all, what not to do. But yeah.
Don't cut them down where they see your tag, I guess.
Absolutely. If you're going to do something wrong, do it right.
Yeah, facts. Let's see. Mandummy, his policies on rent control and now free groceries. Is that what I'm hearing?
Apparently, man, if you like free things, move to New York because apparently, they're just somehow going to give everything away to everyone for free, and it's not going to cost anybody any money, especially not the taxpayers.
Exactly, and we'll talk about how they balance budgets too, because it's just a joke.
Jeez. That guy doesn't even know what the word budget means.
Thinks it's French, like bougie or something. Yeah, like a fancy department store. Next, we will talk about what happened to Mitch McConnell.
Where is he, man?
I'm not sure. He's either in a hospital.
Could be on vacation. Could be something as simple as he could just be on vacation, people.
This could be a crazy prank. I mean, we have seen crazier, right, in live TV.
Eisenhower disappeared for 2 hours, back in the late 60s, early 70s. Oh.
That's a good point. I mean, hell, we hid that FDR, was in a wheelchair for how many years?
Years. Yep.
Oh, yeah. So we'll talk about that, and we'll get into what could be ailing Mr. McConnell, head of the rhinos. Next, it's unfortunate, but it did happen again. But we have Tesla in another self-driving accident.
Yeah, man, it's happening way too often. It's got to the point where something's going to have to be done. It's starting to feel like
it is. I mean, you look at the natural progression of technology, cars, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. But you're going to have incidences, especially like this. I mean, you have the age-old debate of, do you trust yourself or someone else at the wheel, or do you trust technology?
Yeah.
So, yes, we'll talk about that. Of course, we'll go a little bit more into the 4th of July, and we'll talk about our weekends, what happened up in D.C., what happened locally here in Florida, and, of course, in Pennsylvania. So it'll be do a little chitty chat there. One more thing too, the number one movie out right now on I think every streaming platform is Citizen Vigilante.
Yeah, man.
So
definitely a must see.
Definitely a must see. Either way, that one is going to be a crazy one to talk about. I watched it. I know you watched it. It's
yeah, man.
Very interesting.
I'm honestly, I was more impressed with this movie than I was with Disclosure Day, to be honest with you. Yeah.
No, I understand it. I mean, some people call it just, your next vigilante movie, go out and seek vengeance or retribution or just good old fashioned revenge. I mean, is this the next John Wick multi-movie franchise? And we'll talk about it. Next, we'll get into Taylor and Travis Swift's wedding.
That's right. You got to throw that in there. Travis Swift, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that's going to be great, man. So we'll talk a little bit about that and the burden on the taxpayers, and naturally how the rich have to be protected, and et cetera, et cetera.
Et cetera, et cetera.
That's right. Speaking of the government and how they love to spend that money, we're going to talk about Gavin Newsom's mole. Who knew? Who would have thunk it? This is just it gets better, man.
I thought he was gonna have that thing removed.
I some people called him the next Marilyn Monroe. I don't know.
Good lord.
We'll see. And finally, we're going to talk about how video games are going all digital, the pros and the cons. Are you a gamer?
Absolutely, man. I know you are.
Yeah, yeah, not as much as I used to be.
Well, there's just not enough time.
I'm telling you, man, it's finding the time for sure. When we started though, we were blowing into pieces of plastic in hopes that it would make a proper
Well, yeah,
connection
man.
on the
Back in our Nintendo 64 days playing GoldenEye, yep, that takes me back.
Ooh, I'm telling you, and, Ocarina of Time on the N64, that was another crazy
Absolutely.
one. And to go deeper back, I mean, we could go further and further from, you know,
Ori.
Mario and Duck Hunt was, the epic on the NES, and then on the Super NES, I'm a huge proponent and fan of Mortal Kombat 2. That was
Yeah.
the key
Sega
one.
Genesis was big in our house.
Yeah, yeah, what was the go-to on that? Let me guess, Sonic?
Yeah, but I say it was definitely Sonic the Hedgehog.
There you go. Yeah, so we'll get into that. So, all right, let's get into it. Let's hop into it.
Absolutely.
First, flock cams, man. Talk to me about that. What's
All
up
right,
with
man.
the flock cams?
So there, there's a lot of stuff going around. TikTok is flagging this one video. They're calling it a viral trend. It's currently at about last I checked, it's around 14 million views and counting. I think you've got it for us. Can we throw that up on the screen?
Yeah, let's see that. Talk to me about it.
Oh, here we go. Let's watch this, and I'll fill y'all in the details. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me tell you, this guy, he's gonna. I have a feeling he's gonna cost a lot of people more than some money. Some people are going to spend some time in the Fed over this. Unfortunately, I'm going to come to you from the perspective of a former law enforcement officer, and I'm going to fill you in on this. Okay, these cameras, guys, they operate under contract, or they are sold or leased to local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies. Okay, under federal law, and it doesn't matter which one of those it is. Under federal law, intentionally destroying government property with damage exceeding $1,000 is an automatic federal felony. It carries a 10-year sentence. One single camera gets you to that threshold. Like literally, one camera gets you to that threshold. 10 years for one camera. To make it worse, these things, they transmit data electronically over a wireless network. There's an entire separate, federal law that covers the destruction to communication systems. And I promise you, the U.S. Attorney's Office, they will hit you with both of these charges. Guess what? This one also carries 10 years. Um, you
So
know,
how do you get around it?
it's you don't, you leave the cameras alone until, eventually I think the Supreme Court's going to figure out that they're not a good thing and they're going to get tossed. But in the time being, leave them alone. Honestly, the government spying on us is nothing new. Okay. This has been going on for a while, and I'll
I
let you
mean,
know. Go ahead.
no, I get that, right? But here's an example. Down here in Florida, you look at there's a spot in Central Florida. It's an open air outdoor gun range, and they have the flock camera on entrance and exit. Why?
Yeah, yeah.
Why?
More
Are
more
they
than likely, they're
creating
using it as a more than likely, they're using it as a security system. It's reading, obviously, it's reading tags as people come and go.
it's creating a list of potential gun owners, which
It
is
absolutely is.
a
Yeah,
big
I
no-no.
agree. I
So,
agree.
talk to me about that, because look, here's my deal. I've seen countless videos of these garbage cameras being cut down, right? Circular saws, whatever the case may be. You need to be careful. Do it from the backside, for sure. Look, if you're not caught on camera, it didn't happen, right?
You're getting caught on camera, though. No, I'm just gonna go out there and say that, guys. Like, you think you're not, but I promise you, everybody has a Ring doorbell camera these days. They've got Arlo. They're everywhere, guys. Okay, so just
So I'm playing devil's advocate now. So how much money is the US government willing to spend on personnel to go track down all this over one camera?
they'll find you. Sadly, they have. I can tell you for a fact. I know for a personal fact there are literal multi-jurisdictional forces, multiple that exist specifically for this purpose. Just leave them alone, guys. Like I said, this is nothing new. I'm gonna let you. Okay, I'll let the cat out of the bag on 4 other ways that the government spies on you right now. Okay, one is
Okay.
called a stingray. Okay, these
Mhm.
things have been around since the late '90s, mid '90s. What it is an ISMI catcher. It basically is this handheld device that it basically mimics a cell phone tower. Okay, they turn it on. And it will literally intercept your calls, your text messages, your location in real time. And they'll do this without ever touching your phone. They, agencies across the country use them. Most of the deployments never show up in court records because prosecutors purposely avoid disclosing the use of them.
Mhm.
Is this right? No.
You just have to
Personally,
have a
I
good
don't think it
lawyer
is,
that
but
knows where to look and how to ask.
absolutely. And
And, we are looking for VPN sponsors, so it's a good segue,
absolutely,
you know?
absolutely.
Always use a
Did you
VPN.
just segue into today's sponsor?
I wish, but, hit me up, Proton. That's who I use anyway.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor, but, one of the best. Anyway,
So
yeah,
no,
tell us about it.
it is what it is, man. So another way, the government has this handy little program called Cellbrite. What Cellbrite does when they get your cell phone, even if you think you have them locked out of it, with the exception of maybe a couple Apple devices, they can still get into your phone. They'll use this program called Cellbrite to extract all the data from your device. That includes your deleted files, removed apps, any text messages, phone logs, anything from any of your apps, actually, even if they're not stored in the cloud. And it does not matter how long ago you deleted them from your phone. Like they can recover everything. You deleted it 3 years ago. Guess what? It's still on there. This is why do you think a few years ago Hillary and her team were pouring bleach and literally hammering electronic devices with sledgehammers?
For sure.
There's another app called Clearview AI. Okay. Clearview AI is something that a lot of people don't know about. It is a facial recognition database that law enforcement uses. It currently has somewhere around 30 billion photos in it. What it did was it scraped the public internet for all of these photos, and law enforcement uses this program to identify people from just one single photograph. They can identify you. Doesn't matter if you posted the photo, if somebody else posted the photo. If there's a picture of you on the internet, guess what? You're in this database.
I
It
believe it.
exists. With or without your consent, it's there.
Mhm. Picture
Lastly,
detected.
there's something called fog data science. Okay. This is why I tell people turn off your location settings on your phone. All those apps that ask permission to, get your geolocation and they say they're using it for training or educational purposes. That's not what's happening, guys. Okay. Fog data science uses billions of daily location data points sourced from tens of thousands of everyday mobile apps. It allows analysts to input a specific device identifier
Mhm.
or draw a geographic area on a map, and they can literally track where a device has been historically or in real time. Like they know right now where your cell phone is, or they can go back and they can say, "Hey, on June a third of last year, this is where Chris's cell phone was," and they can do this instantaneously without a warrant. I might add.
And, just a side note too on that, for 5 cents, you can actually completely conceal your location. Anyone wanna know how?
Yep,
Ask in the
that's for sure.
comments, I'll tell you how. It's super simple, it's literally it costs a nickel. This is nothing new, this has been out since the beginning. Actually, this technology to prevent this has been out since before cell phones. Anybody care to
Absolutely.
guess? Leave it in the comments below. I'll let you know what I'm talking about, but it is guaranteed to work. I've tried it. I know that it completely hides my cell phone signal and everything in it for literally the cost of 5 cents.
Yep. But that's my little rant on flock cameras, guys. Just unless you want to do 10 years in a federal penitentiary, even a low security federal, you don't want to. I promise. Just
Gotta catch me, man.
leave the
Catch me if
cameras
you
alone,
can.
man. Just leave them
Catch me
alone.
if you can.
And I promise you, somewhere out there is a federal prosecutor that takes that as a direct challenge, bro. Just these people are, yeah. I'm not going to go there because yeah, just leave them alone.
Hey, man, look, green lasers are cheap on Temu, I might add. So,
Green lasers are cheap.
yeah. All right, up next, we are going to talk a little bit about Mondummy's policies up there in good old New York City, the Big
Mayor
Apple.
Mandummy.
Rent control, new free groceries is going on. Like, what's going on with this? I don't know. It's
Mitch
crazy though.
McConnell, man.
Yeah, New York has elected Zoran Mandummy, a self-described socialist, and shocker, his big idea to fix the city is price controls. So he literally froze the rent on about what, 1 million apartments, and now he wants government run grocery stores to beat food inflation. No,
Absolutely.
this is not how you do it. So basically, this is perfect, right? The guy who thinks markets are the problem is now in charge of the most expensive market in America. So, what could go wrong? Landlords get told, hey, your costs can go up, but your prices, those are now feelings
No,
based.
you're gonna have to eat those.
I'm telling you. Yeah. Meanwhile, the same city that can't fix the subway is going to open bargain basement grocery stores with your tax dollars and promise it'll be cheaper than the place that does this for a living, like actual supermarkets or bodegas. You know, but it's the classic socialist two step. First, you declare war on prices. Second, act shocked when supply disappears. I tell you, man, you freeze rent, you threaten property taxes, you shove politics into every lease, and then you wonder why nobody wants to build housing in your city anymore. You know, Mondummy calls this a historic victory for tenants, like getting a lifetime warranty on a car, where the manufacturer stops making. I don't know. Enjoy the freeze while it lasts because when the bill for this experiment hits, those free groceries and frozen rents are going to feel a lot more expensive than the
Yep.
capitalism they
Yep.
replaced.
There's no such thing as free, guys. Somebody's paying for it. There's no such thing as free.
Nope. My daddy told me that numerous times. Oh, lost the feed.
Yeah, it's all good.
Boo. Yeah. Told me numerous times, man, nothing is for free in this world. And I'm like, well, what about this? And what about that? And he's like, well, somebody had to make it. Somebody had to buy it.
Absolutely.
Somebody had to give it to you. Somebody had to get
It
paid
reminds
to
me of
get.
old Russia. Honestly, like, is that his plan? Is he trying to make New York be like the USSR? Like,
Well, if you think about it, man, Soviet style rationing is a state run system where the government essentially controls the production and distribution of basic goods. It could issue coupons or cards to households. And realistically, they can limit how much each person can buy, be given, et cetera, et cetera. We've seen this in some of the worst of times, especially post-war. It's not good. I don't know, man. Ultimately, Mondami is trying to fight high prices with political commands instead of supply and competition, which is how you keep a fair market. You know, Capitalism, yeah, you're going to get a guy at the top of that, you know, company who's gonna, make the money. But like we talked about in a past episode, where Elon is a first person thinker, right? Like
absolutely,
he thinks about the problem at that level. And that's those are the people that are going to make the money
hundred
in the
percent.
realistic views. But look, man, you have tenants, you have landlords, you have this fight, oh, the rent's gonna go up. Well, what happens to these guys that have like superintendents that take care of these buildings that now have to let go of half of those guys who are now going to overlook smaller things? And it's a downhill swing, right?
Absolutely, man.
Like,
It's gonna make things a lot worse than they are.
and if you think about it, man, there are hundreds, dare I say thousands of empty apartments right now that landlords can't put on the market because due to other crazy restrictions they have, when somebody moves out, they have to get it up to the latest code and they have to spend the money to get the place up to the latest whatever, right? And if that takes, $100,000 to do, but they're stuck at $800 a month, like where's the math in that, right?
Absolutely.
property taxes go up. They have to pay for the water. They have to pay for the heat. They have to pay for all of this stuff on the back end, but rent doesn't go up. So what do you do? Do you file bankruptcy? Do you sell? Inevitably, the government's going to come in and for pennies on the dollar, however they wean their way in to do it and take over.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get what everybody voted in, and that's
Yeah.
government ran garbage.
And unfortunately, that's where we're headed in a lot of these situations. Unfortunately, it's going to be really sad to watch.
No, but like you said, we will be watching, and I will be watching it from a free state very far away where very soon we may not even be paying income, not income, I'm sorry,
Property
property
taxes. Yep.
tax. Like,
Yep.
so, you want to talk about a true budget to where the state has done better and better each year? That would be here in Florida.
Absolutely.
Mom Dummy went recently and was like, "Oh, we balanced the budget." No, you didn't. You went to mommy up there in the governor's mansion and said, "I need to balance the budget." And legally, she has to give you the money. Well, when states can't budget their stuff, like old Gavin Newsom over in California, what does he have to do? He has to go to Daddy Trump and say, "I need money, Dad. Give me money to balance the budget," because state budgets have to be balanced every year. So, I don't know. Anyway,
Absolutely.
I could continue and I digress, but my blood pressure's up. We're gonna move on to the next one. Speaking of blood pressure, oh my
Boy.
goodness, what a segue. Mitch
Yeah.
McConnell, listen, bless his heart. And I grew up, my parents are probably gonna scald me right now because of how hardcore right they are, but that's okay. Mitch McConnell, term limits, swamp, rhinos, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
The man has a lot of time put in. Should have retired many, many eons ago. What has happened to Mitch McConnell recently? Have you heard anything?
I haven't, man. I'm gonna find out. I made some phone calls today about it. Everybody in DC's pretty, hush hush about it. I'll be back in the office in DC tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get to the bottom of it. We know that he's not in his office. I can say that for 100% fact. We know that he is not in his office.
We'll see what they got going on right here online.
Got no audio.
What's that?
There's no audio.
Let's try that one more time, fam. How did we not get audio on that? Let's try it one more. Okay. Audio is on. Let us know if we can't hear this. Share. Do we have the screen?
Yeah, there's no audio with it.
What's that?
There's no audio.
Hmm. Interesting as it shows you do have it. Let me look one more.
From Seth when asked about.
Okay. It is time to retire.
It's been time to retire, to be honest. It's
Yeah,
beyond that.
I don't care what side you're on. Term limits is needed. Period. Point
Yeah.
blank. End of story. Granted, I do use autopilot and I am in the Pelosi tracker. And listen, I turned 50 grand into 62,000 in 6 months.
Nice.
So thank you, Nancy Pelosi. Thank you.
Right.
If anybody wants to talk to me, drop it in the comments. I'll be real with you. It's the best thing ever. Not a sponsor,
Yeah.
but making great money. Thank you. Anyway, I hate that it's happening to him, but it's happening on both sides, man. You're getting blue hairs in there that are just should not be
Absolutely.
there,
It's
should not be
beyond
doing
time to
this.
go.
It's
Yep.
time to go. Like, I'm 41. You're what?
A little bit older.
Yeah, a little bit older. You're what, 51? Yeah. So this dude's what?
84.
101?
He's
Okay. Yeah.
84 years old, and he
It's
should have. I mean, honestly, he should been gone 10 years ago.
God
Love the
bless
guy.
him.
He's a great
20
guy,
years
super
ago.
nice guy, but it's definitely time to retire.
Yeah, time to go. Mitch, we wish you well. We're setting you out to sea. Goodbye. Next, Tesla. Let's talk about him, man, because I have a lot of not a lot, but I have certain opinions on this. Go ahead, take it away,
Yeah.
man. What's
Well,
going on?
this one is specifically about an incident that happened June 19th in Katy, Texas. Excuse me, a Tesla Model 3 crashed into a home. We've got video. Do you want to throw the video up real quick? I want you guys to see how fast this car was going when it hit this woman's house.
Right.
76-year-old.
Slamming his Tesla into a Katy area home, killing a grandmother.
Katy area home at 73 miles per hour.
Yo.
Yeah, that absolutely insane, man. So yeah, 76-year-old Martha, she was inside when the vehicle entered the house at a very, very high rate of speed, as you can see from that video. She later died from her injuries. Driver Michael Butler, no relation, has now been charged with manslaughter. He appeared in court this week, like they just said. According to investigators, Butler claimed that he was using Tesla's full self-driving, also known as FSD. He says he passed out and he does not remember the crash. Investigators tell a different story. They're saying bullshit. The accelerator was actually pressed to 100% and the vehicle was traveling at 73 miles an hour in a 35 mile per hour zone. No braking whatsoever before impact. No mechanical failure discovered. And they say that the FSD was actually overridden by the driver's accelerator input seconds before the collision. What do you think, man?
Two things. One, we self-driving car, okay, which call it autopilot, call it self-driving, call it driver assist. I forgive me, Tesla owners. Jesus, don't slay me in the comments. I'm not a Tesla guy. I drive a big truck, so get over it. First and foremost, I do sympathize for this family that lost this grandmother. It's super sad. With this incident, they went to Tesla, Elon. They said, "Look, we've dug into the back end. We've seen the data. It was overridden. Security protocols were overridden." Now, I don't know what that means. Is that something as simple as like with cruise control in a car where you press the brake, it stops your cruise control? In this case, it hits the accelerator. If I'm self-driving, safety protocol, if I hit the gas, it's in self-driving mode. Why is it all of a sudden, fully accelerating? I don't understand that. That's just me personally, but that's maybe the ignorance to Tesla. And that's an argument I could have in that case, because if this is my grandmother, I'd be asking the same question, like, what the hell happened here? Because the way that I read it in some of these reports is that safety protocols were bypassed. What does that mean? Was there a code? This dude looks like a nerd. Don't get me wrong.
100%.
Did he write something or upload something that got around, to where he could play? In that case, yes, absolutely throw the book at him. But was this a case of, crap, I meant to hit the brake, but I hit the accelerator because the lady just said in the thing, this happened seconds, he hit the gas seconds before, something like that. So I don't know. There's a million what ifs. The fact is, what happened. When it comes to self-driving vehicles versus human error, there are thousands of people that die yearly in automobile accidents. Now, when you look at the data at combustion engines, electric vehicles included, if it were human error, that is, then we have data, right, on human error. But self-driving is new, right? There are accidents. There will be accidents. I don't
human drivers kill around, on average, 40,000 Americans. That's not worldwide. That's just here in our country. Around 40,000 Americans die every year from other human drivers causing accidents.
Unbelievable. Now, if you look at the amount of human drivers, now, if you take the ratio or the fraction or however you want to look at it, how many accidents occur per self-driving vehicle, right?
Yep.
It's like asking how many human accidents happen with human drivers. So
we just don't have those numbers. They just, it hasn't been around long enough yet to actually have hard data yet for us to know that.
Bingo. Now, if you look at one of the definitions of technology, it's to make our lives easier or for us to become more lazy. In a sense, one of our futures could essentially be like the movie WALL-E. Anybody remembers that? So that's, you know, technology could easily make us lazier. But at the same time, are we still going to have accidents like that? Will there be accidents? Yes, I believe so, because we program the technology. And until AI completely takes us over and either destroys us or puts us all in a zoo, because that's what we do to lower intelligent species,
Absolutely.
we just don't know. So anyway,
Well, there's a couple of
that's
humans I'd like to
comment,
put in one right now.
right? So all right. So next, man, tell me, what did you do for 4th of July?
Yeah, man. We had our usual celebration we have up here, fireworks, the whole big shindig. I think, more importantly than that, what did Washington D.C. do? What did Trump do? On I don't think this is in our show notes, but on average, let's talk about fireworks for a minute.
Yeah,
Small
do it.
small cities, counties, they usually shoot off anywhere from 300 to 1,000 shells, for their 4th of July show.
Yep.
Bigger towns, Dallas, Chicago, Nashville, they shoot anywhere from 1,000, 10,000, 20,000 ish. You know, the world famous Macy's 4th of July in New York City, which up to this weekend was the largest show in the world. They shot off 80,000 shells over a 25-minute show. This 4th of July, we broke a new world record. We shot off 850,000 shells over Washington, D.C. over about a 40-minute period.
Worth it? Worth it.
I think it absolutely worth it, man. And all the, liberals out there crying about it, get over it. I mean, come on, man. It's fireworks. I've heard so many stupid comments over the past few days about it, man. They were
Yeah.
Chinese fireworks. No, they weren't, a-holes. They were produced right here in Pennsylvania down the road from us. So, no, try again. And it
You
was,
know
it was an
what?
awesome show, man.
You know what? You need to drive on down there and do a little video tour of the place, and let's
Yeah. We might do that.
do a video on it one day, very
Yeah, we
soon.
might do that.
How killer would that be?
That would be awesome. We might do that.
Yeah, let's do it. That being said, how many was it? 800 and what?
850,000 shells.
Well, I will tell you, last year at the annual Waters Brothers fireworks show that we
Extravaganza?
do, yeah, our final firework itself was a 440 shot. One
I bet it was
view.
awesome.
Dude, it was killer. I got video. It's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great, man. But anywho, yeah. So listen, do my rant on this, right? So America just turned 250. So woo, hold on, where's my applause?
Yeah.
Here we go. America just turned 250, which means we are officially that loud uncle at the family barbecue. Yeah, a little out of shape, slightly sunburned, but still telling the best stories and paying for most of the food. Yeah, think about the original 4th of July. A bunch of guys in powdered wigs basically sent a breakup text to the British Empire. It's not us, it's you. Also, we're keeping the continent.
By
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah, that's right. No HR, no diversity training, just pure, unfiltered. We're done being bossed around. And that's
You
the
take
attitude.
your tea and shove it.
Yeah, that's the attitude baked into the cake. Now, fast forward to 2026, the same country that beat the British, crossed a continent, built railroads, invented flight, dropped a flag on the moon, and then invented the internet just so we could argue with strangers 24/7. Yeah, we're the only nation that can binge watch conspiracy theories on a device more powerful than NASA had during the Apollo missions, while complaining about how oppressive everything is from a recliner with cup holders. But under all the noise, the core is still there. The truck driver with the faded flag sticker, the small business owner who pays everyone else before paying themselves, the parents teaching their kids that freedom isn't safe, it isn't quiet, and it definitely doesn't come with a guarantee of no hurt feelings. That's the real America. It's messy, loud, and still optimistic. At 250, we're not pretending to be perfect. We're bragging that we're still here. Rights from God, not from a committee. Government that answers to the people, not the other way around. The stubborn belief that you can start with nothing, screw up a bunch, and still build a life worth defending. So, I hope that this 4th of July, you didn't just laugh at the chaos, you owned it. The overcooked burgers, the off-key Star Spangled Banner, your uncle lighting the fireworks with all the precision of a drunk NASA launch director. Yeah, that's us. Yeah, look, be proud that we're the one country that can rack up 250 years of wars, elections, screw ups, comebacks, moon landings, bad haircuts, and worse policies, and still look in the mirror and say, yeah, that was wild. Let's do 250 more.
I can't think of anywhere else I would rather live. No.
Oh, man, I'm telling you. That's my rant on the 250, man. What about you?
No, right there with you. You said it perfect for both of us, man. Absolutely.
Shoot. All right. Well, look, up next, we got to talk about this, man. It's the #1 movie in the world right now. It is called
It's a little graphic, so
What was that?
buckle your seatbelts. It's a little graphic, so buckle your seatbelts. But
Buckle up, baby. Well, let's look at it, man. Citizen Vigilante. Look, this movie is crazy, right? You took a look at it this weekend, right?
absolutely, I watched about an hour worth this week, and I haven't gotten a chance to finish it yet because of our 4th of July festivities. But I'm probably gonna finish it tonight, actually, when we get done recording this.
Hey, that's awesome, man. The best part is the end. But look, you watch Citizen Vigilante, and the first thing that clicks is this. Look, Sanders, the main character, like Army Hammer, terrific job. Loved what he did there. He's doing what the system refuses to do, right? It's a bit of a different movie of revenge, if you will. Like, it hits like a John Wick, but in more of a realistic time frame. I don't know. Would you agree? Like,
Absolutely, I'm just moving Facebook here so they can kind of get a look at us at the same time. There we go.
hey, no, but this is crazy, man. Like, this movie hits so hard, in the European scene, especially.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yui Boll built this thing out of pure rage, at a real case where a 14-year-old girl was taken advantage of by scumbags that they just got nothing more than a slap on the wrist. It wasn't a movie pitch, but that's a crime scene that the courts turned into, a paperwork exercise.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So no, it's crazy, but this stuff happens. This stuff goes on, and until the government steps up and says enough's enough, this is going to continue to happen. Where there's no justice for a crime, what's going to prevent people from doing it?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I agree. I don't want to give away, I don't want to give away the whole movie. We want people to go see it.
I'm sure a
Yeah,
lot of folks have seen online. It's a really crazy movie, but I like what they're doing with it. It's really is a good movie. I mean,
it's a good movie.
when you boil down to just the cinematography and the way that it was made, it's fantastic, right?
Absolutely is. No doubt.
My question is, though, is it going to become a franchise? Do you think they're going to bring it back for a number 2 or number 3? Do you think?
I could see it even possibly becoming like a spinoff. I could see it becoming a show, honestly.
Oh, there's a very good chance. They made the movie for $4 million. Did you know that? 4 million. That was it.
That's impressive,
Oh,
honestly.
it was. I mean, when Bowl went to Army Hammer and said, "Look, I've got this movie. I want you to do it." One, I think you're perfect for the role. But he admitted, he was just like, "Look, this guy has been excommunicado from Hollywood, and I know he wants to act, but damn it, he's just the perfect person for it. So this is like the perfect fit, and it worked. I think, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I don't know who else they would. I mean, I got a couple ideas, but he was definitely the best person for that role
Yeah,
in my mind.
a couple of ideas, but my couple of ideas, those guys have already died in real life. Like
Exactly. Yes.
like I
Like
could see
Sean Connery.
Heath Ledger. Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Yeah.
there's a couple of guys I could have seen that could have, but Army Hammer, fantastic choice. Like I'm actually a fan. I mean, regardless of what people have said he has done in his personal life, his acting career is
I
fantastic.
like the guy. Yep.
So, and for anyone that was a fan of The Social Network, I'm a nerd for that. But playing twins, that was great. So, anyway, enough about that. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, it really touches home, especially for all of my European friends. Yeah, don't want to give a lot of it away, but crazy movie. So go see it.
Absolutely.
It's number one for a reason.
Yep. Without a doubt. So, all right. What else we got?
Holy Moses, man! This picture you sent. Tell me about it.
Let's throw that up. Can we get that up there? It'll be the perfect
Let's
little
do
segue
that.
into our next. So I guess this segment title is Breaking News. Travis Kelce officially becomes Mr. Swift. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's finally happened. Travis Kelce is reportedly no longer Travis Kelce. He is now Travis Swift. Somewhere the NFL is updating jerseys, fantasy football apps are crashing, and Jason Kelce is trying to figure out if he's now supposed to call himself Jason Swift.
I mean,
You know,
honestly,
the
if you think
guest list.
about it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the beta in this relationship for sure. I mean, there's no ifs, ands,
Absolutely,
or
man.
buts about that.
I heard that the get I heard the guest list was so tight that security was so tight on the guest list that Secret Service actually asked for credentials, just to deliver the cake. Um,
No, I
and
believe it. I
NYPD
mean,
definitely had the street shut down.
listen, I mean, what better way to need how do you how do you reference this, right? So you've got a liberal who is so far left that
I call her an ultra liberal, but yeah,
but she is utilizing all of New York's finest for personal security.
yep, yep. I
Yeah,
don't know how she squares that away. I really don't.
I don't either. I could continue getting into that, but let me tell you what really irritated me is I use Kalshi. It's a great
Yeah.
money market app that
Yep.
you can bet on anything from commodities to mentions to the World Cup, which is going on.
Also, not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but I will have an affiliate link in the comments.
Yep.
So if anybody wants to sign up to get, up to $500, let me know. That'll be great. But you can bet on anything: culture, mention sports, commodities, economics, elections, tech and science, crypto, finance, politics, and more. Basically, if you like gambling, you can bet on anything, which is great.
Absolutely.
I like Kalshi actually because, they're like 90% of the time, 95% of the time. Realistically, it's because people that put their money where their mouth is, people don't do that on a whim. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's way better than just a normal betting app. Go on that. But long story short, my thing is on there, they had a thing, who are the bridesmaids? Who are the groomsmen? Well, this bitch is so self-centered that she didn't even have bridesmaids. They didn't even have groomsmen. Like, what the hell is that? What the hell is that?
I don't know, man. I heard Patrick Mahomes was the best band, and
No, it's lies, dude.
sources have told me that Ed Sheeran actually cried.
Well, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me either. What's he doing? Wiping his tears with $100 bills?
I mean, and we do know that Adam Sandler, of all people, officiated the wedding. I'm still kind of scratching my head at that one.
No, look, I think that's cool. You got the OG Jew up there officiating. It's great. And I'm cool with that, right? Like, he's awesome. Love him to death. He's worth $500 million. So I'm kind of actually at that point kind of curious what his hourly rate was to officiate this shit. But
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I'm sure it'll come out.
No, I know. I can't wait to see the numbers on that because there was a lot of numbers put up, I'm sure. Oh man.
So what do we refer to him now? Travis Swift, Mr. Swift,
Dude, that's what I'm
Taylor's
calling him.
husband,
I call him Mr. Swift or I call him Travis Swift
the
because
tight end formerly known as Kelsey.
yeah, I mean, dude, yeah, look, own it, dude. Prince did.
Yeah.
Like own your
Right.
stuff. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of owning your stuff, somebody that doesn't own any of his stuff, Gavin Newsom over there in the bright, sunny state of California.
Yeah.
Did you hear they have a mole? Gavin Newsom has a mole. He is such a moron and such an ignorant. Remember, he wasn't so smart in school. This dude has a freaking mole, an FBI mole. I know, I'm sure people are probably thinking about the mole in his damn face I was talking
Yeah.
about in the beginning, but
There are some things I can say about this and some things I legally am not allowed to comment on. Read between the lines there if you want to.
hey,
But
we need to
I'm
talk
going to
about
let you do
that.
most of the talking on this one.
Fair enough. Here we go. Gavin Newsom finally had a mole story America cared about, except it wasn't on his face. It was in his inner circle, wearing a wire for the FBI. Dude, you can't make this up. The slick, perfectly gelled future of the Democratic Party had a trusted ally secretly recording conversations for more than a year, while a dormant campaign account was allegedly being drained for fake consulting fees. Translation? While Gavin was busy auditioning for president on cable news, the feds were auditioning his friends for Narcos. Sacramento.
Love
Yo,
it.
his
Hey, you
chief
want
of
to take
staff-
down the Swift picture?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, bye.
There we go.
Bye, Travis.
See you, Mr. Swift.
Gavin's chief of staff already pled guilty to fraud and lying to investigators, but we're supposed to believe the guy at the top had no idea. Apparently,
It's not over yet.
no, it's definitely not. In Newsom world, money just accidentally walks out the door, staff randomly commits felonies, and the FBI just shows up with microphones out of sheer curiosity.
Starting to remind me of the. Before I say this, let me just throw out there that I am not suicidal. It is starting to sound a lot like the Clintons, though, if you ask me.
No, I agree, man. Hey, but the best part, this is the man who lectures the rest of the country on democracy, ethics, and saving America from corruption. Meanwhile, his own orbit looks like a deleted scene from The Departed. Polished governor on the podium, wired mole in the back row. And the Justice Department trying to figure out how many people at the party knew what was going on. Yeah, so next time you hear Gavin Newsom had a mole, don't think Botox, don't think beard, don't think eyeliner. Think about the guy who wants to run the country while the FBI was literally bugging his inner circle to see just how dirty California Miracle really is. Yep. Voters should be asking one. If you already needed the FBI babysitting your governor's office, what does it look like when you get the keys to the whole country?
And I know there's going to be a lot of blowback and a lot of the other side talking about, well, Trump already got charged with this and that. He's a felon. We don't want to hear it. It's been so overplayed, honestly. I will say there's a lot I can't say about this story, but I will say this for the record. It's not over. It's very much an ongoing investigation.
But dude, here's new scum on X. Today, my wife and I joined Donald Trump's hit list. He has
Whatever.
directed his Department of Justice to investigate us. They have not found a crime. They are simply trying to find one. He isn't coming
Right.
after me because of mean tweets, but because I'm considering running for president. He hates that I
You know-
consistently call him out. He is simply the most corrupt president in American history. We have nothing to hide. Famous last
I
words.
remember a few years ago when Biden was in office and, Trump was the
His
one saying all
wife
this.
took over
And,
his Twitter account. Yeah, sorry.
exactly. Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. It's Gavin's crazy, dude. Him and his mole.
Moly, 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 moly.
Hey, well, last up on the old docket tonight, gaming, going all digital, man. You're a gamer. I'm a gamer from back in the day. I did want to cover this because this is something I've thought about actually as, you know, an avid Blu-ray and DVD collector back in the day. My parents, my mom, she bought every first edition Disney VHS that was out.
Absolutely. I've
I
got
think
some of
my
them sitting over
sister
here right now.
do what?
So I've got some of them sitting over here right now, actually.
There you go, right? And I know my sister I think has our collection, whatever the case may be. Like at some point, as technology moves forward, right? You have the opportunity to get them on different platforms, right? So you had VHS,
Absolutely.
then you
You
have
got keep going.
DVD, then you have Blu-ray. From there, you have digital, right? So remember when MP3s came about, right? At least you could burn MP3s, download them, burn them. You have them on disk. You could have them on your hard drive. But from
Some
there,
memories right here. Look at
what was
that.
that? Oh
Look at
yeah,
that.
see exactly,
Look at that, man.
bingo. Hey, do you have the
Isn't
Little
that
Mermaid?
crazy? Oh, dude, there's a whole box over there of them. I'm sure it's here somewhere.
No,
Yeah.
you see the gold adult toys on the
Yeah, right.
capsule,
Little Mermaid.
So right there on the front cover. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So long story short, on the surface, with this latest turnaround, you have no more discs, right? You have no more clutter. You have no more physical hardware that's needed other than your one centralized system, that runs a hard drive and has memory. Everything's just sitting, either on a cloud or on a console or on a PC. My thing was, and I was thinking about this years ago when I first cut the cable or cut the cord for cable and went to all streaming. This is 2026 now. I started streaming back in 2014, 15, around there, and I cut cable. Greatest thing ever. But at the same time, it's like, okay, what do you do if you now have these? You'd buy a Blu-ray, but you would have a code that would have your digital upload or whatnot, or download or whatnot. So you could keep it forever and ever. Well, you could only download it once, and where did you download it to? Voodoo or
Right.
Apple, or nowadays where everything is online and it's all literally a cloud where you're doing nothing more than renting the license to
That's
hit
right.
play.
And you
people don't
remember
understand
Napster?
what was that?
You remember Napster?
Oh, I totally do.
Yeah, man.
Totally do. You could rip anything. Bear Share. Remember that? LimeWire.
Yeah. LimeWire. Yeah.
That's right. For all of us early 2000s kids that were ripping everything. But yeah, so long story
Literally.
short, man, you have all these different digital platforms, right? Well, Sony now is, having an issue where people are wanting the physical copy because say I buy $100 game and all of a sudden you lose the rights to it. Kind of like how Voodoo used to host all of Disney's movies.
Yep.
But Voodoo was owned by, or they were purchased by Walmart, and then Walmart sold them to Fandango. And then eventually Fandango said, well, not only are we deleting all of your Disney stuff because Disney created their own, streaming and all that stuff, and all of those rights were stripped. What do? Do I get my money back because I no longer own the video and I'm able to watch it?
Fortunately, you're just SOL.
No, think about it, man. Like, on a preservation angle, it's a disaster, right? Physical copies don't care if a company goes bankrupt, right? If I still have the disc, I care less. Your company goes bankrupt or sells again, or your license deal expires. Like Disney with Voodoo is just a very random example. How do entire chunks of your gaming history or movie history, for this example, just disappear, right? Because people either stopped caring or because the publisher decided the spreadsheet didn't, like keeping them around.
Yeah. It sets a dangerous precedence too. This is going to be kind of I'm going to go off on a tangent here for a second, but just think, if there was a much more modern, highly sophisticated civilization that for argument's sake existed before us. Okay. Let's say there was this whole civilization that existed before the Younger Dryas, cataclysm took them out.
Yep.
They were so advanced that everything was digital. We there's nothing for us to find of that civilization. There's no paper copies. There's no, everything they would have had would have been basically where we're at now. Does that make sense?
It does indeed, but realistically, where I get you are with the Younger Dryas, I have to play devil's advocate. It would have to be a civilization hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years ago, because remember, we're in the Silicon Age, right?
Absolutely.
And what
We'll
do they have
have a
for
whole
that?
show about that, dude. Absolutely.
And we will, because I can't wait to do some stuff on that. That's going to
Yep.
be great.
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
nonetheless, I totally.
We're an hour.
Hey, we did it. Let's hit it. So thanks everyone for tuning in for such another amazing episode. We're still in our top 10 episodes. So thanks for everybody being here at the beginning with us.
Absolutely. We appreciate you guys stopping by.
That's right. So, Brian, where can everyone find you online?
So I am all over social media. Anywhere you look at The President and CEO. That's at The President and CEO, or Facebook, facebook.com/rbrianbutler.
There you go. And you will find me at Redline Briefing Chris Waters all over the social medias. And if you want to check us out, you can go to theredlinebriefing.com, and we will have direct links to all of our stuff there, including all the past episodes that you can get. We are getting
Absolutely.
our YouTube going. We are getting our Spotify going. We're getting all of our streaming stuff going. We're putting out shorts soon. If you want to,
Absolutely.
remember to subscribe, like, repost, share, comment, all the stuff that helps the algorithms on all the different platforms. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Cool. Talk to you guys on the next one.